What's up, everybody? I'm Beck, and you're watching Cycle Source TV. Today, I'm on one of Harley-Davidson's most controversial motorcycle models, the Pan America. Now, keep in mind, when Harley announced the Pan America, they had just killed the Dyna, and they were just talking about touting Livewire, their electric motorcycle. Leather daddies all over were losing their mind that the Moco had changed. They were not the company they once knew and loved, and their days of riding the Wild Thunder were over. That being said, almost 10 years later now, we're on a brand new Pan America 1250 ST. This model is a staple of Harley-Davidson's lineup, and what I want to know today is why.
The Pan America 1250 ST, Harley's sport touring adventure bike, powered by a Revolution Max 1250 engine, a structural component of the chassis, eliminating frame weight, adding rigidity, centralizing mass to improve performance, boasting 94 foot-pounds of torque and 149 horsepower. HD shed some weight on the 1250 ST by introducing a slimmer profile, slimmer radiator, no crash bars, overall a sleeker setup. Since this is a taller bike, Harley lowered the seat height by about a half an inch with a curved profile, giving the rider an in-the-bike feel versus an on-the-bike feel. Another feature to help with the height is adaptive ride height suspension that lowers the bike at stops. The Screaming Eagle quick shifter comes stock on this bike, allowing for riders to shift faster without needing to clutch. The display is laid out super well, with the most important things being the biggest speed and tachometer. It's also going to tell you ambient temperature, bike temperature, battery health, what gear you're in, what your tire pressure is, what your fuel range is, and the ride mode you're currently in. The ride modes are easily selected from the button on the handlebars. Digging in, we can Bluetooth maps and music to the bike. We can go further into diagnostics, bike status, check that out. We can then back out of that and we can head over to the settings, where we're going to actually be able to customize our ride modes. Of course, we have rain, road, and sport, but then we also have custom ride modes that we can tweak exactly to our liking and add those in as well. Of course, we can change the appearance of the screen as well as what we're seeing on the home screen while we're riding. Now let's talk about two design elements that I really think make this bike stand out. First is the open stainless exhaust. It makes the bike look fast even when it's sitting there, giving it that aggressive look. And second, I'm a big proponent for design elements that tie a bike together front to back. Here we can see the backside of the fairing and that line and curve that matches the leading edge of the tank, that matches the outside panel leading edge of the tank, flowing back to the rear of the tank that's dished out for a little space on the knees, and those all have similar curvatures and lines that I think really ties this bike together in a very tasteful way. There's no doubt to the amount of features that Harley put into the Pan America 1250 ST, but how does that translate to the riding experience?
Alright, so first impressions of the Pan America 1250 ST. I've ridden some adventure bikes before, and I loved them when I was not on the freeway. I had a ride and ride, and I was hitting some canyons, and they shine. I didn't like them on the freeway because I felt the wind and the trucks, they just got blown around a little bit more than I like and that I'm used to, right? I think Harley's done a fantastic job with the weight and the weight placement on this motorcycle. You know, as we discussed earlier, the motor is actually part of the frame. And I don't know if that's giving it this rounded feel. You know, we're sitting just south of 600 pounds. And even on the freeway, it's nimble in the canyons and the roads, but it's still solid on the freeway, and I love that. Loving how buttery this bike feels. I mean, everything. Cornering is so nimble and light and just clutching, shifting, and everything is so buttery, smooth. Oh. like about this bike. Now, there's two things that I think a potential buyer might be a little, they might want to change it up, you know. The first is the peg width. I understand it's an adventure bike. We're going for this sleek profile, but my feet do hang off the side a little bit. It's not that bad when I'm sitting down. And I know you want clearance for really dipping the bike into those corners. But when I stand up on the bike, I would really like, you know, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch more on a peg would really go a long way. Again, if it bugs you that much, swapping pegs, super easy. The only other thing on this bike that I would like to see a little bit better is the windshield. Again, I know we're going for like a sleek profile, but at 6'2", it keeps the wind off my chest, which is nice. But if I'm going long distance on freeways and I'm really trying to crush some miles, I would really like a little bit taller windshield to get the wind off my head. But again, that's a super easy fix should I want to buy this motorcycle and do that. Those are the only two things really that I've found that you could improve off this stock bike. Again, I don't see a need to change the seat. I don't need to see a change on the bars. It's really, really well set up. Is a hot buy or a hard pass? Well, MSRP, $19,999. I think this is very fairly priced. It's competitively priced to other bikes similar to it on the market, and you get a bike that, like I said earlier, you don't have to pull a bunch of parts off of it to get it to how you want it. It's ready to go off the lot. I would take this off the lot and drive right across the country, no qualms whatsoever. So for that, I think it's priced fairly. It's a phenomenal motorcycle. The engine is absolutely insane. So, hot buy all day long. Hot buy all day long. Ideal customer for this motorcycle? Two people. The first person is going to be someone who is into adventure bikes, and maybe they want one, like I was saying, that's a little bit heavier, tracks on the freeway a little bit better, can go a bit farther more comfortably. That's going to be the #1 candidate for this motorcycle. The second person is going to be someone like me who's been on cruisers and choppers their whole life, and we're just looking for a different feel out of a motorcycle. And this bike gives you exactly that. It's making me excited to put miles down again because it gives you just a different feeling than your standard cruiser does. And I think it's, back when Harley did talk about releasing this and release it, I was skeptical, absolutely. But like, for a company to make bikes like the Lowrider S, like the Heritage, bikes I truly love riding, and to make this bike, and I truly love riding this, and they give me such different feels. My hat is off to the Moco to do both styles so well. So well.
You don't have to take my word for it though. Throw a leg over Pan America 1250 ST and go see for yourself. The sheer, well-rounded feel of this motorcycle will at least put a grin on your face, if not make you rethink what style of bike you want to be riding. Until next time, this is Nate with Cycle Source TV. Thanks for riding along.